Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region on the Region Sports Network. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, regionsports.com, and the IHSAA TV network. We come to you tonight from Lake Central High School as the Region Sports Network features the Lake Central Indians taking on the Munster Mustangs. I'm Mike Zajac. I'll have the play-by-play for tonight's broadcast. And joining me with the color is Mike Dewan. Mike, what's going on?
Mike, it's always a pleasure. It's hoop season. Like we're saying, it was a long fall, but we're in for an even longer winter, especially with this weather we're having that we'll talk about a little bit later. But two teams that were very, very solid last year. We're super excited to be here. A fun place to call a game. But the interesting dynamic in this game, two teams that had very solid records, and obviously it's a tough start to the season for any squad. Obviously, you kind of got to knock the rust off, as we kind of are doing in these early parts of the hoop season, and we've kind of seen it so far. Maybe the records aren't where they want to be, but it's a long season, Mike.
Yeah, Munster coming in 2-3 on the year. LC at 4-4. LC 26-5 last year, so already with 4 losses, they're almost matching what they had last year when they went to semi-state. And then on the flip side, it's Munster. We took a look last year, 18-5 in their year. So good seasons last year for both of these teams. If you look at record-wise, like you said, it's off to a slow start.
Yeah, both teams lose a decent amount of talent. To start with the Munster Mustangs, you mentioned now 2-3 record on the season, in this young season. Went 18-5 last year. They did lose to this Lake Central Indian squad in the sectional opener. It was their most wins in a season since the 2019-2020 season. Their third most in a season since the year 2000. They won the NCC. They're coached by DeAndre Williams, who's had a solid short career here at Munster, 37-16 in his third year here with the Mustangs. Had stints at Hammond High, Bishop Noel Morton, 55-64 in his 6th year overall. Munster, they lost at Maryville, Chesterton at Morton, but they beat City and Hobart. They were a very young team last year. Looking at their roster, they did not have a single senior on the roster. But they lose the big piece to Center Grove in Grayson Gilliard, who transferred there going into this year. She had 25.9 points per game in 2023, 8 rebounds a game, 5.9 steals per game. That's a lot of production that is lost at Munster. They're looking for some of these pieces to step up. A lot of pieces we're going to talk about throughout the game. And for Lake Central, you mentioned 26-5 last year, made a trip all the way down to Indy. Yes, that state title was out of their grasp, but they cultivated kind of Northwest Indiana and really put a lot of eyes on girls basketball here, specifically with this program. They're coached by the great Joel Huppenthal in his 9th year at Lake Central. All he does is just about win, 152-69 losses, 268 wins to 108 losses in 16 years as a head coach. But Lake Central, again, a little bit of a rough start here, 4-4. You mentioned they've kind of almost matched that loss total from last year. Still a long season, but again, similar to Munster, they lost a couple pieces that we'll talk about throughout this broadcast.
Munster hasn't beaten LC since February 8th of 2020. That was before COVID. It's been that long.
That was a senior in high school. That was senior year, baby. Yeah, it's this is always a great rivalry between these two squads. Lake Central, I think, in terms of the basketball side of things, they tend to get the better of them. And, we mentioned, the last time they met was that sectional opener. And LC, again, they've had a lot of great talent. They had a lot of talent last year, but they graduate. Again, we talked about who both these teams lost throughout the course from last year to this year. Lake Central, they lost 3 girls to Purdue Northwest and Anaya Bishop, their leading rebounder. Riley Malosnik was kind of that point guard, a big-time distributor. Nadia Clayton as well, and Kennedy Burks did not go to PNW like the other 3, but she was their top 3-point shooter and was an absolute spark plug off the bench. We're going to talk about the future of these teams and the players you're going to see on the court. But again, two teams with very similar dynamics and two teams that, again, with the records they have now, this is the big time win, kind of heading into, we're getting kind of the tournament season, kind of Christmas break time before we know it, and they're trying to find that momentum because before we know it meant conference play. Although they played some games already, they're trying to build up momentum. Before we know it, Mike, we're already kind of, a few games into this girls' season so far. Before we know it, it's going to be win or go home.
About 5 minutes until tip-off. Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll get to the starting lineups, talk a little bit more about these teams. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack & Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack & Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowell Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowell Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. Mike Zajac, Mike Dewan from Lake Central High School getting ready for Lady Hoops here. Always a great facility here when we come here. Hospitality is always great. I love coming here. Like I said before we went on the broadcast, I've now called a game on every corner here at LC.
Love it. I'm not a grizzled veteran like you. I've only been in 2 of the 4 corners, but yeah, you mentioned it. The hospitality is always great. We'll be here this Saturday. We'll talk about some future events coming up for us on the Region Sports Network. But yeah, only 2 corners for me. But it's always a good time here at Lake Central. And again, Mike, a game between 2 great teams that really want this one bad.
Yeah, let's get to the starting lineups. First, we're going to start with the Lake Central. Munster.
We'll start with Munster. The visitors here, 2 and 3. They're led by 4 seniors and a junior in the starting lineup. Number 10, Nina Garner. Number 11, Helena Spencer. Number 12, Cecilia Mason. Number 23, Leah Soteropoulos. And the lone junior of the group, number 33, Ibomaka Odaluga. Big shout out to the Odaluga family. Big shout out to Kanena, somebody I grew up with as well. A little bit about these Munster starters. Again, we talked about who's going to be next up for both of these programs. And Cecilia Mason and Nina Garner are your co-captains of this squad. To highlight them, Cecilia Mason, 12.8 points per game, 3 assists per game in this young season so far. She's kind of more of a three-point shooter and has been a little bit down from 3 to start off the season. 20% from 3 so far, was a 30% shooter beyond the arc last year. She's hoping to kind of, obviously, again, kind of that early season factor is trying to knock the rust off. It's been, of course, they spend the summer playing, but it's different when it's an in-game, and I bet that percentage will go up throughout the course of the year. Then for Nina Garner as well, the leading scorer of the Mustangs, 13.4 points per game, 2.2 steals per game, and 1.8 blocks per game. So Nina Garner, more of that imposing presence. Ibomaka Odaluga as well has been a solid kind of rebounding presence, the lone junior, playing well beyond her years so far. But a senior-led lineup, and we'll see that kind of the same for Lake Central.
Let's take a look at Lake Central's starting lineup.
For the Lake Central Indians, again, coming into this game, 4 and 4. We start with Isabella Soria, 14. She's a senior. A fun story on her we'll talk about later. Bryn Leonard as well, a senior. Number 23, the star for this Lake Central squad, Vanessa Wimberly. Ayla Krieger as well, another senior, number 35. And the lone freshman playing some quality minutes for this Lake Central squad, number 42, Jillian Biederstadt. Talking about those Lake Central stars, who is next up for them? We mentioned, again, we have 3 college graduates playing ball at the next level, I should say, as well as Kennedy Burks, a top 3-point shooter for this squad with Vanessa Wimberly. This is just about her team, along with Ayla Krieger, but about Vanessa Wimberly, Alabama A&M commit, 14.5 points per game. Everybody's roles now is increased in this season compared to last year's state runner-up squad. 3 steals per game, 34% from 3 for Ayla Krieger, Indiana Wesleyan commit. She averages 12.5 per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, a block per game as well. Bryn Leonard continues that PNW pipeline. There was a fantastic story on her. She kind of had to wait in line looking at the stars. I saw a great story on her and looking at the stars that were in front of her. She spent a lot of time kind of waiting in the wings. She had a fantastic AAU career. Now gets a shine in the spotlight here for the Lake Central Indians, but she will be going to PNW come next fall. She's a peach to look out for. And Isabella Soria, committed to Chicago State as a soccer player, a fantastic soccer player for these Lake Central Indians. And also another fantastic story on her from Michael Osipoff. She suffered a few injuries throughout the course of her career. She played basketball as well as soccer all her life. Stepped away from basketball after suffering that injury, then came back for her senior year, and obviously getting some big-time starting minutes here in this early parts of the season.
Now, you mentioned Leonard. It's tough for somebody who's you talk about AAU and how great they can be, and just sit on the bench throughout the whole season, basically your whole career almost until you get to your senior year.
It takes a lot. It shows a lot about the player she is, and obviously she's a very good player to commit at a solid school that's doing some great things with their program, and again, not really getting that many minutes at the varsity level, making most of it at the AAU, and now obviously she's making most of her time now that she's here again, starting for the Lake Central Indians. And again, it's both of these teams senior led, a couple solid young flashes, but these two teams again, these are teams they're going to be led by the class of 2025, and it's going to set up for an exciting matchup, Mike.
Yeah, we're going to stand now for the national anthem here at LC. National anthem, and they're going to get set for the starting lineups here. And they'll start with Munster. And you mentioned earlier the starters for Munster: Nina Garner, Helena Spencer, CC Mason, Leah Sataropoulos. I'm going to screw that up multiple times today. Here's another one I'm going to screw up.
Ibomaka
Odaluga. You say it like it's like, oh well, it's whatever.
Gotta give a big shout out to the Odalugas, family I grew up with. But hey, again, few seniors and a junior. This is a team that they're trying to win now. Obviously, it's a tough sledding as of late, but it's a long season, and they're going to grow.
Lights come off for the Lake Central Indians. And a video on the video board. We'll get that here. A lot of schools don't get to do this, but awesome. Lake Central had, they got a lot of money going into the school. They can put together these cool videos for the players and the fans.
It's also for the kids, man. Yeah. I mean, the kids love it. And I know, again, there's also like booster clubs that kind of, communities. Sure. It's a community thing.
You think about LC, Crown Point, Valpo, those are the bigger communities. They can put these videos together for the teams. It's pretty cool to watch as a fan and a player. And even a student here just at school who gets to watch their classmates.
Right. And again, I get the video itself. I bet, a videography class or who knows, people putting this together. Oh, that makes us even more happier. People, again, being in the sports media field. We love good videography like this.
Yep.
It's awesome stuff.
Some future interns from Lake Central coming over to work for Region Sports Network.
Licking my chops, I guess, here.
Maybe in the future, somebody might come up and walk and talk with Mike.
Mike or Mike?
Mike or Mike. Going with the old Chicago Bulls from the 90s music. Here.
You really can't beat that. I mean, come on now.
I think you're a little too young to be.
Hey, I've seen the clip.
Right, but
I call it the United Center, not the Chicago Stadium.
Yeah, it's the same with me. But watching the Bull run through the city of Chicago and then go to the United Center, and it was cool to watch back in the day.
They took that away, the kind of the intro video, the Bull running through the bus, the team bus.
Yep.
That was childhood for me.
Yep.
Aging myself, but.
Lake Central Isabella Soria, Bryn Leonard, Vanessa Wimberly, Ayla Krieger, and Jillian Biederstadt.
Yeah, freshmen stepping up big again.
There,
obviously, we talked about senior-led team like this, and in Soria, Bryn Leonard, Vanessa Wimberly, and Krieger, but Biederstadt obviously putting in some quality minutes as a freshman. Coach Huppenthal obviously sees something for her for these next 4 years.
You know, for LC, they got about 2 players 6 foot or taller, and then Soria they're at 5'11". Just close enough, right, I guess. And then tip is away, and Munster will take control. This is Mason had it. Has it now. Looks like they're going to go with a man-to-man for LC.
Yeah, interested to see the battle down low. Odaluga, I know she works hard. Averages about north of 8 rebounds so far in this young season. That's kind of, some of the top numbers throughout the region.
This is Spencer with it. Trying to get it down low. A pick on the outside. Go back inside. Look for maybe that, it's very patient. Like that, maybe that drive and kick out. A little blocks. There's the drive, there's the kick out, but unable to handle it. It's a shot, top of the key, no good there from Mason. A rebound up ahead to Lake Central here.
Looks like Munster might start out in the zone. No, it looks...
Possible. It looks like a 1-3-1 zone here against Lake Central. But that's good to do. I think when you got against a taller team like LC, you put some more players in the paint to come down on when a player gets the ball down there.
Yeah, and a tough shot there from Biederstadt. Again, good contest there from Odaluga, trying to make things tough on the freshman.
Shot for 3, no good. That was Mason up ahead. Here comes Soria. This is Wimberly with it.
And Mason, she has the confidence. Last time we were here for that Munster Lake Central.
It was a 3-pointer.
She could do that too. But Mason, again, she has that confidence, and she's a spark plug. If she knocks one down, she could hit the next 2 or 3 in a row. But Krieger's really done a great job. She could stand out beyond the 3-point line. She's kind of fallen off from the 3 over the course of her career. Rough start for her as well for the season, but obviously a good start here tonight.
Averages 12.5. Odaluga going to drive, and now she's trying to get it over to Spencer, but it's taken away by Krieger. Up ahead, this is Wimberly. Driving baseline, back out. Krieger 3, and she buries it. Back-to-back threes for Krieger, and timeout taken by Munster here. Quick timeout, 5:21 to play. They trail 6-0. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Great job there by the LC offense. You go up against a 1-3-1 zone. It's going to crash in the middle once you get a player down in the paint. It's an easy out to a player like Krieger waiting for the 3-pointer.
Yeah, you see the 2 threes right there with the Region Sports replay. First one in the corner from Krieger. We were talking about not the best start for the season from the 3-point line, but we saw there, found her spot in the corner. Then a great drive there from number 23, Vanessa Wimberly, found Krieger on the wing, dribble drive, and a kick it out there, and 2 for 2 start for her. Got all 6 for the Indians so far.
Wimberly almost got a steal, and she does. Going to take it to the hole herself, lay it in for 2.
Now, we didn't see this on the first few possessions, but Lake Central now going to try and speed up Munster a little bit here. Try and limit up that patience they had kind of in those first few possessions.
Past the defense and taking it coast to coast goes Spencer. First 2 points for the game for Munster. It's 8-2, 4:50 to play in the first.
Yeah, Lake Central being patient now as well with this zone. Got to pass the ball around.
Krieger had it on the almost alley-oop. Couldn't get it to go, but she gets her own rebound. She was fouled. She'll shoot 2. Foul coming in on Spencer. believe she's shooting 2. Maybe.
No,
I guess not.
We stand corrected here. Maybe the foul was not on the initial shot attempt, but maybe on the rebound.
Krager through the lane, now tries to get it to her teammate down low in the paint, but taken away. Munster had about 4 players down there up against Biederstadt. I think Munster going to a zone that definitely helped on the last possession. Odeluga in the paint. Too much. LC with the boards. Here comes Krager. Baseline floater. Got it. Krager already up to 8 points on the game. She averages 12.5. 4 minutes to play just in the first.
Yeah, she's fun to watch. She could put the ball on the floor as well. She obviously we saw her range here in the early parts of the first quarter. She could put the ball on the ground as well and obviously finish in a multitude of ways.
Spencer throws this one away, looking for, I believe, Grabowski down there.
Yeah, a couple quick turnovers from Munster now, and right now you want to try and protect the ball and not let this game get away from you quick, because Lake Central has shown they could score in a few different ways.
Leonard comes out, Isaac into the game for LC. And Munster, a 2-3 trap. Krager in the paint again, gets it to go. She's got 10.
Lake Central doing a good job passing and cutting, dissecting that zone, moving the ball around. And then when you have a defender like this to pick you up at half court.
Wimberly picking the pocket, taking that one away from Mason, adding 2 more. It's 14-2.
Instant offense.
And Wimberly tries to save that one from going out of bounds. This one's going to get away from Munster quickly. And they need some offense. And who's it going to be for them? Yeah, we haven't heard Garner's name yet.
No, yeah. Again, C.C. Mason, I believe, had the lone bucket, if I'm mistaken. No, I believe that was
Spencer.
Whoever it was, we got to try and find offense here again. This game could really get away from you quick.
It's a nice look in the paint. Back outside. Shot 3, no good. And the rebound to Krager the other way. Up ahead. Here comes Mizak laying it up, but she's fouled, and she'll shoot 2 with 3:07 to play in the first.
Yeah, Lake Central, they're taking advantages of those misses from Munster, who, again, that was a good shot that last possession. They're getting out in transition as well. They want to try and, although they've had some success against that zone of Munster's, they want to get out in transition as well, and those are the easiest buckets you could get. You can get out in transition and beat the defense down the floor.
Isaac's first shot is good. Referee Danny Torok making the call down low.
These two teams could meet again now. I know there's been a little bit of a switch-up kind of in the classes, but they're both in the 4A class at Sectional 1 with Crown Point and the 2 Hammond schools that are putting on that's a competitive sectional. The Hammond schools as well. They got some great pieces over there, some great teams. And Crown Point as well, they got a good squad.
Wimberly almost got a steal, and she does once again. Coming down the floor, Krager can't handle it. Up the floor. This is a shot 3 from Garner, and it goes. They needed that. First points of the game for their leading scorer, Garner.
Did that get her on the board?
16-5, 2.5 to play in the first.
What's that, 3 steals for Wimberly now?
Yeah. Wide open down in the paint is Archer for 2 more for LC.
It's just great work from Lake Central, moving the ball around, getting it down to the block, sending a cut, kind of replacing that manner, and they're dissecting it. Now you got to watch out for Wimberly trying to go for steal number 4 here today.
They got to hurry and get it over the court. Yeah, they do. Grabowski gives it up. Garner top of the key. Driving through. She gets bumped. And a foul's going to be called. Looks like Archer. It's the first foul of the game for Lake Central. I mentioned earlier the foul on Helena Spencer. That was her second for Munster. And she's back into the game with 2 fouls.
Got to be careful here.
Got to be very careful.
Obviously looking to try and get some offense here, some defense as well. But got to keep her in the game. They only give you 5 here at this level.
Odeluga in the paint. Heck outside, long 3, short. Garner the rebound, puts it up, can't go. Tipped out of bounds. It is staying here with Munster.
You look at LC's 4-4 record. They beat Marquette Catholic, a great 1A team. Bishop Noel, Chesterton, and North Central. Lost to Fort Wayne, Snyder, Penn, Hammond Central, and Avon. A good 4 losses still. You can look at this record and say what you want, but they forced a turnover there. But it's in early parts of the season. There were some tournaments I believe they played in. I believe they played in the Avon Classic, which, again, playing down there, there's always some tough competition. But some flashes here so far from this Indian squad.
Minute 30 to play. Wimberley came out of the game for Skirka. Krieger's going to take a seat. Isabella Soria coming in. Get some subs in for LC in the final minute and a half. Give their starters a breather before they come back in the second.
Good start there for Krieger.
Good job by LC to get it out of the corner. Got somebody open in the paint. They give it down now to Skirka, and she has it taken away. Coach Williams telling them to hurry up. Otaluga just over the reach. Out of bounds, it goes to LC.
Yeah, those points off of turnovers, that's going to be kind of huge here. Munster, obviously, a good stop on the defensive end there. Nice, again, the zone. Everyone's got to be in sync here. And again, especially if you get a turnover, you got to make it up on the offensive end as well, because that's what Lake Central's kind of done these early stages of the first.
Inside, can't handle it. That was Archer. And now they try to get it inside to Otaluga. She can't handle it. There was about 3 LC players taking that one away. Here's a corner 3, and good. Another 3-pointer for LC. This time it's Bryn Leonard. Third 3 of the game for the Indians. It's 21-5.
Again, it's just moving the ball around, making the extra pass. A lot of unselfish basketball so far from Joe Huppenthal's squad.
Garner thought about it. Now she dribbled, driving, floats one up, too strong. And the rebound goes to Archer. Final 10 seconds for LC. Down low, Archer back outside. Final second, late shot, getting it off is Soria, no good. 21-5 is the score after one. All LC Indians in this one over the Munster Mustangs. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Can't wait for summer, but dreading the heat because your old AC let you down? Don't sweat it out this summer. Call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. The professionals there can fix you up. Install a central air unit that'll last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable. And with a 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Give them a call at 219-923-4441 or check them out on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network from Lake Central High School. Mike Zajac, Mike Dwan. 21-5 is the score. The Indians on top of the Munster Mustangs. A big first quarter from Alec Krieger. She scored 10 in that first quarter.
Looks like Munster's going to keep up with that 2-3 zone. Something Lake Central's had some success against.
It's almost a zone trap. Wimberley now.
And again, just staying patient here, obviously against the zone. You don't really need to move quick, and you got to find the open shot like that.
Wimberley unable to connect, and the rebound goes to Mason. So good defensive stop there from Munster. Here's a long 3, and it goes in. Soteropoulos with the 3.
There you go. Big
20,
shot. Big
21-8.
Big shot there. There you go. Good start for Munster now. Now you got to take that momentum back on the defensive end. You get a stop. You get a score. Got to try and chip into this lead here. Obviously, you look at 21-5.
3 in the corner and buried from Soria. 4 threes so far from Lake Central. It's 24-8. Inside is Otaluga getting on the board.
Good heads-up pass there from Cecilia Mason to get it up the floor, and Otaluga cut to the basket there. Good press break.
There's a foul. And they get Garner.
But yeah, the last play, a big shot from Soria there in the corner. Grab that momentum right back there for the Lake Central Indians. You see here on the replay again, making the extra pass, finding Soria in the corner. Just after that 3 from Soteropoulos. Came right back down the floor, answered.
Here's a 3 from Krieger again. She buries that one, top of the key.
Yeah, she's feeling good today.
14 as Munster overthrows the ball.
Well, she was clapping her hands. She wanted that one.
27-10. Just under 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Krieger already with 14. Corner, Soria, no, back out, trying to get it to Wimberly. Off the tip from Mason.
You got to count how many passes Lake Central has. It's, again, a lot of unselfish basketball. No one's looking to shoot until a shot like this.
Backdoor cut comes Krieger. And the patience from Lake Central. Excellent ball without the ball movement there. Without the, you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Shot from 3 from Garner doesn't go. The rebound taken up and missing. Grabowski and LC with the rebound.
Let me count how many passes here.
That's 1. That counts.
This is when they shoot it off rip too. When I start to count. But it's just been it's been the same type of possession.
I mean,
and then,
this one goes out of bounds.
You get something like that. But
moving without the basketball
yes.
is what I'm saying. It Krieger, for her to do that from the backside, it's underrated in basketball.
Sure.
When you're coming from the backside of a zone, they're not looking for you.
No.
They think, and especially what LC was doing, they're just keeping the ball around the perimeter. Keep going around the perimeter. Finally, somebody makes that cut, and they're wide open.
And it tires out these Munster defenders. You see a couple hands on hips. And again, if you're sleeping, Lake Central's going to take advantage. And you just got to be on full guard for the however long the possession may be. Because, again, they're using it to their advantage. No shot clock here. You settle for the open shot, especially now when you're up 19.
Garner went up for a shot. And she was fouled. I believe it was Emma Zaney, the center. 6'1 junior out there. Here's Spencer in the game with 3 fouls. Mason down low, finds an open player. It's Otaluga for 2 more. 29-12, Otaluga with 4.
Yeah, for Lake Central, we've seen a few new faces. For Munster, on the other hand, a lot of girls playing the majority of the game thus far. Again, with how much Lake Central's moving the ball around, stamina could be something of an issue, maybe for this Munster squad.
Wimberly open for 3, doesn't go. Rebound, Otaluga. Up ahead, Garner. Wimberly, great defender, knocks it out, but she fouls her. Garner went up for the shot. Wimberly just knocked it out, but had too much arm, and it's Wimberly first foul.
Munster, a little bit more aggressiveness now, trying to get to the basket, trying to cut into that lead, although maybe the shots may not be as open and maybe what you're looking for. They're getting fouled here. Now you got to make them count.
Missing the first free throw is Garner.
See here the previous bucket there. Nice pass there from C.C. Mason to Otaluga. That was the Mustangs' last bucket. Trying to chip away. Still 3:58 now here in this first half.
Garner missing both.
You need those.
Odaluga trying to save it. Cannot. It goes back to LC. So 0 for 2 at the line is Garner.
Gonna need those. They got to get back on defense. And Lake Central, they've gotten some open looks. Not falling like they have been in the first quarter. And
3:50 to play in the second. Corner getting trapped. Krieger wanted to take that one. Held up. And you're not counting the passes here.
Yep.
It's at least 4.
All right, I'll shift the reins to you now.
Zaney back out. That's a good play there. Can't connect. Was Wimberly, and a foul is going to be called on offense going back to Munster. That's how you got to beat the zone. You got to go inside of the middle. If you get the ball back outside, it's something that I've been trying to tell Mike Woodson at Indiana to do, but he just cannot figure it out for the last 4 years.
He's on the hot seat, I hear, man. I guess that's for another day. But, yeah, Lake Central doing a great job. Obviously well coached. Again, getting more open looks, just not really falling. Wimberly's had a couple open looks from 3. She's still a fantastic player, and I bet she's going to want those to fall down, and she definitely has the ability to do so. But, again, part of that offense, too, part of that energy that derives, we see there forcing turnovers in Wimberly. Although maybe offense may not be clicking on her end, she's going to bring the energy defensively. She'll pick you up at just about the other baseline here. She'll take you full court. And obviously forcing turnovers like here. We've seen a couple from Munster so far.
Lake Central taking a 20-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. He said Spencer, got to mention, back into the game with 3 fouls.
Yeah, that's a lot of trust. Again, in your senior, as you see, Krieger kept up her hot hand earlier in the game. And that was one, I think, her lone 3 here in the second quarter. But, yeah, it's Munster. We talked about not too much depth from what we've seen so far in these early parts of the season. They kind of maybe a 6-7 player rotation, if that. And obviously, if somebody gets into foul trouble, someone's got to step up. But in this case, they gave you 5. So they're going to trust her to maybe finish out this first half with no fouls here. But again, it kind of limits what you can do defensively. You can't really be that aggressive, and especially when you're down by this margin, that kind of hurts when you can't maybe go for steals, try and contest some shots in order to get some stops.
There's a 3. Can't connect. Garner the rebound. 3 coming from Leonard. Odaluga puts it down. Nice pump fake. Too strong. Gets her own rebound. Tipped and into the hands of Wimberly. Back the other way come the Indians. Wimberly in the corner. Back out. Leonard. Open player down low. Can't get it to go. The rebound doesn't go in there for Zaney, and it's going back to Munster.
Yeah, lid's been kind of on the basket as of late for this Lake Central squad. Same can be said with Munster, but the score could even be a little bit more of a wider margin. They've been getting some great looks, I'd say, maybe better than Munster in this case. Just can't tickle the twine here.
17-point lead. It's been around 17 all this second quarter.
Yeah, and I think for Munster, you just got to try and maybe make that, 12. Make it a 10-point game going into halftime. Get some momentum going into the locker room.
There's a 3. Doesn't go there for Mason. Odaluga the rebound, trying to get it back outside. And it's a turnover again for Munster. Wimberly driving the lane, puts one up at the foul line for 2.
Yeah, Wimberly's still fun to watch, and again, she could turn it on at any moment. We mentioned, again, maybe some struggles beyond the arc to start, but again, could also put the ball on the floor, get it from 2, and obviously can deflect passes left and right like that. She flies around like no other.
Now they talk about Krieger getting the 3, big-time scorer, but Wimberly is the one that makes him go.
Yeah, it's, again, the two most important pieces, I'd say, of this Lake Central team are those 2, the 2 most elevated roles after, again, losing a couple college-level players and a few other girls as well that made a positive impact for that runner-up team. Someone's got to take their place and try and at least match that production of last year's squad.
Spencer was stuck in the corner, got it out to Garner. Back out Spencer for 3, can't connect again.
I will say Munster as of late gotten some open looks beyond the arc as well, but those also can't fall.
Krieger for 3, too strong. And the rebound goes to Mason. Up ahead, Odaluga put it on the floor and now gets over the body of number 42, Biederstadt, adding 2 more.
The junior's been impressive, Odaluga. Running the floor well, and obviously, again, she's a fantastic rebounder. She's not going to give up, and only, again, at 5'10", which might not be your typical size of kind of that center forward at this level. She's working down there, and, again, it's impressive to see somebody run the floor at kind of that forward to center position.
6 points for Odaluga just in the second, and this one's knocked away, but back into the hands of Mason. Here's a long 3, and good to go again. Soteropoulos with the second 3. She's got 6 in the second quarter. 31-17, 39 seconds to play in the first half.
Again, I think if you're Munster, you got to try and make a little bit of a statement here going into the locker room. LC, it might be best to hold for the last shot or give them very little time left. With how much they pass the ball, they just might.
Yeah, you just got to wait for that perfect passing window to open up. Get it down low, Zaney back outside. Nice job there defending that one. 14 and a half seconds to play here in the first half. Wimberly coming out.
Good play there from Soteropoulos. The Indians, they've been trying to go free throw line, wing the free throw line to corner a lot this game. They've having a lot of success, and Soteropoulos, after a few times maybe getting burned kind of on that side, snuffed that one out.
Leonard driving. Had it knocked away into the hands of Biederstadt. She was fouled, and she'll shoot 2. Odaluga with the foul. That's her first of the game. 8 seconds. Biederstadt's first too strong.
There's a bucket earlier from Odaluga. Yeah. And could be a big swing here. 8 seconds left. Obviously, free throws here. Want to make them count here. At least split them if you're Biederstadt. For Munster, trying to get something going.
1 or 2 at the line. 32-17. Final 5 seconds. Mason's got to go. 3 seconds. Long 3. Oh, she buries it. CC Mason thought she had time to maybe keep going to the 3-point line. She pulls up from way downtown.
From the volleyball line, Mike Zajac. A little bit of a Caitlin Clark-esque, if you will, a shot that we would see down in Indianapolis. We talked about momentum going into the half. What more can you ask there? Ask from Cecilia Mason, the Munster Mustangs. A big-time 3 there to try and claw back into this lead.
32-20 is the score at the half. We'll break it down. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
First home, dream home, forever home. Tech Credit Union has the right home loan for you. Their loan officers could help you purchase a home, refinance your current mortgage, or unlock your home's equity to get cash out for any purpose. Let Tech Credit Union show you why they are the better option for a home loan. Learn more at www.techcu.org or call 800-276-8324. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. Mike Zajac, Mike Dewan from Lake Central High School. It's Lake Central leading Munster 32-20 at the half. Let's go through the scoring in the first half. For Lake Central, Krager's got 15. 3 of those coming off the 3 ball. 6 for Wimberley. 3 for Soria. Mizek's got 2 and 1 for Bieterstadt, equaling to 32. For Munster, 6 for Soteropoulos. A couple threes there in the second quarter. Odaluga, all 6 of her points coming in the second as well. Mason with 3. Spencer with 2. Of course, we mentioned the foul trouble. She's in already at 3. And then Garner with 3 points in that first quarter for a totaling of 20. But in the second quarter, we talked about it was 21-5 going in the second quarter. The second quarter, Munster led 15-11 over LC.
Hey,
they didn't seem it.
Sure. No, that's definitely a little bit of a shocking stat, but Lake Central again got off kind of firing in the first quarter. We kind of see here again, they're just passing the ball around, dissecting that Munster zone. But kind of since then in that second quarter, Munster's able to kind of get some stops. Lake Central had some trouble kind of matching that scoring they had there in the first quarter. And then we see, again, kind of with these replays, they were able to kind of force some turnovers of Munster, with a lot of them leading to points. But since then, Munster's been able to take a little bit more control of the basketball and limit kind of the damage that Lake Central had in the first quarter. And obviously, again, that big-time 3 to end the half helps things up, cuts this thing down to 12, and still got a half a ball game left to play, and Munster's shown some promise. Lake Central trying to get back to maybe that scoring output they had in the first frame.
Yeah, DeAndre Williams did a great job of breaking things down after the first quarter and making adjustments on the defensive side. I mean, he almost cut their scoring in half in the second quarter. They went to that zone, definitely helped out. You saw LC just passing the ball, but for LC, I think it more just slowed down their offense. If you're Williams, okay, things got a little too fast, a little too quick for LC. They were moving the ball well. They slowed them down with that zone. They made them work for it. Yeah. And then, offensively for Munster, shots started to fall. I think in the first quarter, nothing was really falling for them. Those threes weren't falling for anybody. And then I think they ended up with 3 threes made in that second quarter. They're still missing a lot of shots. They're missing some layups. Still turning the ball over, but much better in that second quarter.
Yeah, Munster, they kind of live and die by the three ball. We've seen a lot of three-point attempts from this Munster squad, and they have the girls the capability of making those threes, and we saw a lot of that capability there in the second frame, and I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of as we start this second half here, Mike, of kind of the tempo battle. I think Lake Central now kind of being up 12, I don't expect much to change offensively. I expect a lot of still trying to do whatever they can against the zone, some backdoor cuts, and keeping everybody on their toes on that Munster side. And I think for Munster, you're still down 12. We still need to kind of obviously put some points up, but we've got to get some quick stops, some easy buckets. So who knows? Again, from Coach Williams and the defensive side, they did some great things in that second quarter, but they may want to try and even up the pressure a little bit more to try and kind of make things difficult for Lake Central. Again, cut into that lead because, again, although we do have a second half of play, if Lake Central takes their time offensively, however many passes, 5 at least typically on the offensive possession, it could be a tough hill to climb for this Munster squad.
And, you got to think college and NBA, you got the shot clock. You don't get the shot clock here in high school. So LC can hold on to the ball for as long as they want and pass the ball around and be as patient as they want for that backdoor cut to open up or somebody to get a screen and come around the corner to Krieger or whoever it's going to be to hit that three. They'll be that patient and wait.
And in terms of passing decisions, I will say Lake Central has made very few mistakes. So if you want to try and force turnovers if you're Munster, you got to try and maybe send 2 defenders, try and send them maybe a quick blitz at somebody who maybe gets a pass down in the paint or something. Try and make stuff tough maybe for, again, players like Biederstad, who's been kind of posting up at that free throw line at the dunker spot, as well as, again, they're trying to get the ball inside and kick it out. I think for Munster, you got to try and maybe get some hands on the ball, try and swipe it away. But who knows? Again, we still got a second half of play here, Mike, and anything could happen, to say the least.
32-20 here at half. Third quarter is coming up next. We'll take a short break. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual card, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strackandvantil.com.
Hi, I'm Crowd Company's Lantern Man. For years, I've helped your family and friends save on their car insurance. And now I've returned to rescue you from high prices. Whether you have a perfect driving record or a not-so-perfect record. Follow me to the Crowd Agency for immediate and affordable coverage. I'm your insurance superhero. Crowd Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. Mike Zajac, Mike Dwan. Halftime finishing up here between LC and Munster. Indians leading 32-20. Don't forget to visit regionsports.com, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, and Instagram for this week's Powering Indiana Peak Performers presented by NECA, IBEW, Powering Indiana of Lake County, the region's most trusted electricians.
We had that list come out today. We did our first of girls basketball. I know Otaluga was on that list for rebounds. Lake Central Indian was on the list. I don't remember. It might have been, I think it was Wimberley for points. 14.5 a game. Trying to make that total go up here in the second half.
So Munster gets the ball first to start things off here in the third. This is Spencer looking. Mason tipped around. Soteropoulos coming out with it. Otaluga in the paint, puts it on the ground, back outside Garner. Garner floats one too strong, and the rebound goes to Soria of LC. Out quickly over to Wemberley, cross court, Krieger three, got it again. Wide open was Krieger. And now she's got 18 on the game.
Impressive skip pass there from Wimberly. Now is kind of taking over that role, kind of what we saw from Malosnik last year. Every time I talk about her, she makes a big play defensively as well.
Steal, the layup, and good. No foul called as Wimberly goes down. 2 more points for her. She's up to 8, 37-20. It's back out to a 17-point lead. Wimberly, another steal. Can't get this one to fall. And she'll shoot a pair.
I mean, just the Energizer Bunny. I mean, that's really what she is. I mean, if you need a quick bucket, I mean, it's a coach's dream. I mean, she's a tough defender, and she's got a nose for the ball. A couple steals already. I want to say she got 4 or 5 at this point, and maybe looking at her season averages, I'm sure it's up there. She averages 3, so she's best of that here today. And obviously, again, it leads to quick buckets. It leads to fouls like this, and although it misses the first one there, she's solid at the charity stripe as well.
And we better check our wallets when we leave because she'll pick your pocket.
She might be, and she's that good at it, man. We won't even know. We will not even know.
And this is the first. Second one good for Wimberly. Up to 9 points. 18-point lead now for Lake Central.
Talked about Krieger coming into the game, only a 28% three-point shooter. That's going to go up after today.
Mason from inside the arc rattles that one in.
Confident pull up there, riding that momentum that she had from that volleyball line, 3-point buzzer beater to end the first half.
Krieger down low, Soria looking to get it inside, not there. Swing it around Wimberly, now they get it down low. It's Krieger double team now in the corner. They had to pull it out, nothing was working.
I lost count.
You're not counting anymore. It's
no.
Too many tipped. And this one taken away by Soteropoulos of Munster. So Munster getting the turnover. Garner out to Spencer, and Spencer is going to pull it out. Working on Leonard, and there's a foul called. Foul's going to be on Leonard. That's her first. 16-point lead for the Indians. Mason gets it in. Odeluga. Back outside Mason. Long three. She buries this one again.
I'm telling you, man, spark plug. That shot at the end of the first half, that could be, I mean, she has that ability where, again, we saw her last time at the sectional opener. If she makes one, watch out.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that Mason's on fire.
Could be. Still got some work to do, but that's a player you need to be on fire right now if you're the Mustangs. Because that was deep too, Mike.
LC lead down to 13. 5 minutes to play. Wimberly trying to match her. Doesn't go. Leonard with the strong rebound. Krieger fakes. Back up. Step into it. Doesn't go. The rebound goes to Munster. And kicked out. It'll stay with the Mustangs.
Well, it's 2 good shots there from Lake Central. From 2, you're probably your best shooters in Wimberly. And then a good pump fake there from Krieger. But again, that lid's still kind of staying on the basket for Lake. If it's not maybe a quick bucket, it's been kind of tough sledding for the Indians ever since that first quarter.
Oh, they're going to get Wimberly here for a foul. She went for that reach in, got too much arm. It's the second now on Wimberly.
Which is fine. I think you're still kind of allowed to play that aggressive defense. That's had so much success today. Again, I count 4 or 5 steals for Wimberly. Just, I'd say, in the back half of the court. Just been causing trouble for those Munster guards.
Garner driving, taking it herself. She was knocked down. No foul called. Odeluga got the rebound. Spencer lobs this one in. Spencer with 4 points. It's an 11-point game now. Wimberly weaving through, loose ball. Munster coming out with it. This is Spencer. Across the court, Mason, she's got the hot hand. Screen there from Odeluga, and this one's knocked away. Soria Knocks it out, staying with Munster here.
Slowly tripping away, Munster is. Got it down to 11 now. What was it, 12? So I guess they are chipping away.
Archer coming in for Bieterstadt for LC. Odaluga almost traveled there. Got it out Mason. Mason floats one, too strong. And a foul there on the inside by Odaluga. That'll be her second. Back to LC it goes. Just under 4 minutes to play here in the third.
Again, I expect Lake Central. Again, last possession, a little bit of rush there from Wimberley. I'd imagine just kind of getting your set, take your time here, try and find a good shot and get the lid off the basket.
Corner three from Leonard. Leonard got that one to go. Another three for LC.
Only a few passes there from the Indians. Started her on the far side of the court, brought her back to the corner. Wide open.
Spencer for three, doesn't go. Loose ball, Odaluga comes out with it, and she knocked down her own teammate Mason. Garner waiting for everybody to clear out. In trouble, gets it out to Odaluga. 3:10 to play in the third. 14-point game. LC on top. Mason loses the ball. It's a jump ball, and it'll go back to LC.
Again, you could basically chalk that up as a steal there. Again, just quick hands. Just does not give up on the play. It's impressive watching her defend, too. And, again, she's a leading scorer of this Indian squad, Wimberley is. So she, I think, at minimum, could make a big-time effect on one end of the court every given night.
This is Leonard. They were stuck in the corner on the other side of the court. Now back outside, Wimberley left open. She's going to take that and got it. Wimberley now 12 points, 44-27. They extend the lead back to 17.
Wimberley, one of the better shooters, I'd say, on this Indian squad. 34%
be
from
careful.
three.
Over and back.
And that tight defense from Lake Central just making errors for those Munster guards.
Another turnover for Munster as Leonard knocked that one away from Spencer.
Now we're seeing a bit more of the elements we saw in the first quarter. Shots now falling for Lake Central while turnovers are being forced for those Munster players.
Krieger, three, way too strong on that. Out of bounds, it's going back to Munster with 2:02 to play in the third.
Screen to get her open. Good look once again. Obviously confidence kind of oozing now. Sky high after her performance so far, but another good look for LC.
Garner's taking this one herself. Too strong off the board. Krieger with the rebound. Up ahead to Wimberley. She's not that tall. Over the outstretched hands of Wimberley. It's a turnover. Under 2 minutes to play in the third. Taking this one and then losing it was Spencer. Now loose ball. Wimberley comes away with it. She's got Krieger if she wants it. She floats it up herself and she's fouled. She'll shoot two.
What's our unofficial steal count for Wimberley? 6? We could maybe.
Got to be something like that. I'm only counting fouls.
Now that I said it, I don't know where my phone went, man. She's all over the place. Impressive work. I remember the great Michael Bradner and I. We came here for their media day for heading into, of course, the state championship game last year, and of course I did all their interviews, all the players and all the coaches as well. And Bradner and I were kind of walking out, and Vanessa Wimberley was still on the floor now, kind of in workout attire, and she was the only one out there shooting. They had just had a practice before and then the media day and then got a little extra work in, and obviously it shows the work ethic of Vanessa Wimberley. One that stuck out with me because I know a lot of these girls out here, I was reading stories and stuff like that, and they do a lot of extra work as well, but that stuck with me as well. Again, the media day, definitely a more emotional day, I'd say, of your high school career, and right after it, you're back in the gym shooting.
And it all counts. Every
Sure.
practice you take. This one's knocked away into the hands of Wimberley. It was knocked away by Skirka. It's a 19-point lead. Munster got it down to 11. We thought maybe they would continue to chip away, but LC has now taken back control in the paint. Can't get it to fall is Archer. She's fouled with a minute to play here in the third. The foul's going to be on Odaluga. That's number 3 on her. Archer to shoot 2. And rattles the first home. Don't forget, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. The Crowell Company is proud to recognize the superheroes on the basketball court as Archer connects to a 2. It's 48-27 now. 21-point lead for LC. 50 seconds to play in the third. Here's Mason. She had the hot hand, and now she's cooled off. This is an air ball from Mason as this goes back to LC.
Yeah, it's a game of runs here, and we saw a little bit of life from this Munster squad, but kind of in the second half of this third quarter, it's been all Lake Central. Again, a lot of the elements we saw in the early stage of the game, some turnovers forced, as well as, again, they're making their open shots, some great sets. They're getting players wide open, and they're making their shots. An unselfish basketball.
Another 3, but this one no good from Isaac. 20 seconds in the third. Spencer taking it. Wimberley, they'll get her on a foul. Trying to come from behind to get the steal. That's number 3 on Wimberley. Let's see if she comes out. She does. Leonard coming in. Mason, the lob, Gardner tossing it up. No good. Odaluga with the rebound. Back out to Mason. Cross court, Spencer driving baseline. Foul's called with 9 seconds to play.
And Odaluga's impressed me up here. Again, a lot of second chances produced from her rebounds. And again, we kind of saw with the peak performers today. She was, I think, averaging north of 8 boards a game. Obviously keeps these extra possessions alive for these Mustangs.
Long 3, Mason. No good. Spencer the rebound. In a loose ball, finally taken out. Krieger with 2 seconds, lobs it. Too strong off the backboard, and that'll do it after 3. 48-27, Lake Central on top of Munster will take you home. When we come back, you're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Can't wait for summer, but dreading to heat because your old AC let you down? Don't sweat it out this summer. Call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. The professionals there can fix you up. Install a central air unit that'll last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable. And with a 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Give them a call at 219-923-4441 or check them out on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. Mike Zajac, Mike Dewan from Lake Central. It's 48-27. Indians on top of the Mustangs. LC outscoring Munster there 16-7 in the third as they pulled out now to a 21-point lead. There's Mason inside. Odaluga can't handle it. And going back to the Indians.
Yeah, an impressive showing for the Indians out of half. Obviously, we talked about momentum going towards the Munster side with that pretty solid second quarter, outscoring the Indians. But they've responded with, obviously, a nice quarter of their own.
Tight defense here from Munster. Inside, they got one open. That was Bieterstadt. She lays it up for two more.
Bieterstadt, not much of a role offensively quite yet. Again, we talked about the offensive firepower Lake Central has proven, at least at this point, averaging 4 points a game, but 5.1 boards per game, as well as kind of an imposing presence on kind of the middle of that zone or whatever they may be running.
Mason's going to launch this one from the elbow, no good. The rebound goes to Soria. Quickly ahead. In the corner, Leonard's going to toss it. This one's tipped by Spencer into the hands of Skirka. We got a jump ball, I believe. It's staying here with LC. 6:34 to play. 50-27 the score. Don't forget, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. It's brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. You can learn about the apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org.
Wide open layup there from Soria. After that jump ball, caught the Mustangs sleeping. Yeah, Soria, a fun story again, if you weren't here for the top of the broadcast. A great soccer player for the Indians, going to play at Chicago State next year, but was a long-time basketball player as well. Again, this is all from a great story from Michael Ossipoff with the Post, but again, a great soccer career, played basketball as well. Again, especially with a lot of these girls, suffered an injury and obviously came back here on the hardwood after stepping away from the game for a little bit to just solely focus on her soccer career. Coming back for her senior year, obviously seeing what this program did last year, as well as, of course, having a coach like Coach Huppingthal on your sidelines. That'll make things nice. Easy decision.
Garner lays it up for two. Krieger in the corner, got it down low, and now knocked away from Bieterstadt. There's Spencer. Mentioned she had the 3 fouls in that first half. Nothing since.
Yeah, they trust her for a reason.
Garner, it's off the side of the backboard. Wimberly, she's got numbers the other way. Going to take it herself, but this one's knocked out. And the referee's going to talk about it. I think this was off Wimberly, and it's going to be, Munster ball. It was tipped by Munster, and then Wimberly got her hand in there. A good job by that official, Danny Tora, coming in late.
Yeah, we'll say this Munster team has shown some fight. We talked about kind of that small rotation. A lot of the same faces and numbers we've seen just about all game for the girls in the red, but they're fighting to the final whistle, especially in the early parts of this fourth quarter. Forcing some turnovers. Now got to make it up offensively.
Garner driving, tosses one up, doesn't bounce in, but a foul's called. Bieterstadt picking up her first.
A little bit of a tough night offensively for Garner. Again, one of the captains, someone they rely on, trying to kind of build up some momentum, at least at the free throw line. No, she missed her first two at the line earlier in the game.
Makes the first there.
Because basketball, man, it's a game about confidence. It does wonders, to say the absolute least. And we athletes are always so tough on themselves, especially, again, this game more than any. Of course, it's a team game, but sometimes you got to look at the individual stats as well. And it's easy to fall down on yourself, but big 2 for 2 there after missing her first two.
Yeah, it's good to have basketball back here in
that's for sure.
The region. It's definitely one of my favorites to call here on the Region Sports Network. As there's a foul on Munster.
Aren't they all your favorite?
They are. I mean, football is good too, obviously.
Sure.
It's. I think I just know the game a little bit more. I played basketball since I was, 5 years old, whatever it was, and I just understand the game a little bit more. Not that I don't any football, but it just to me, and watching so many games. I mean, the college level is so fun to watch for me, and just I get frustrated as a Hoosier fan because there's too much talent on the floor for them to not be as good as they should.
Well, college sports is quite different nowadays, man. You could have all the talent.
Yeah, you take that NIL money. And,
we could have a whole show about that. Good move there.
Coast to coast goes Spencer for 2.
And now it looks like Coach Williams is going to get his girls up now, try and make you some quicker possessions for Lake Central, to try and at least cut into this lead. Obviously, 4 minutes to go, down 19. It's quite the hill, but why not? And you see they're trying to get in some lanes here. Lake Central doing a good job keeping up that patience. Don't need to force a shot yet, like you said, shot clock. No such thing here.
Trap in the corner. Jump ball. It's going back to Munster. Soteropoulos going to come back into the game. She's got a pair of threes in this one.
Again, I got to respect the fight. That's really all you could do. I mean, got to respect Coach Williams as well. He's still got all the energy over there on his bench. He likes what he sees right now in this fourth frame.
You've got to coach every second. This one tossed up there from Mason, and Mason adding 2 more. 52-35. There's Leonard. Leonard taking it herself. Biederstadt high off the glass and good for 2. She's got 4 in this fourth quarter.
Good touch there from the freshman. Obviously kind of in traffic there. It's not easy to do on the press break there. And now Lake Central speeding things up.
Wimberly lost it, but controlled it to get it to Leonard. She's fouled. Is she going to shoot 2? I think she is.
Here's a nice bucket on the few possessions before from Mason. But Lake Central continues their, again, complimentary basketball here, making good D, leading the easy offense here. As you see here with the press break. Good entry pass to the freshman. And now making him count at the charity stripe.
1 and 2 at the line from Leonard, but it's Soria getting the rebound, adding 2 more. 57-35. It's up to 22. Odeluga. And a travel. Munster going to stay with the press here. After the game, we'll name the Proud Union home play of the game. It's presented by Region Sports Network. 2.5 to play. There's Krieger. Thought about it. Now she's driving through the lane, laying it up and in. Good move there.
These awards are going to be tough to hand out here, Mike. We got our fair share of candidates here. An impressive performance from this Indian squad.
Odeluga too strong, and that one's knocked away. As Leonard knocks this one out of bounds, there's a foul called, and a fresh 5 coming in for Munster. At what point does Coach Heppenthal, I think now he's going to start looking over to see who's going in.
Yep.
As Munster clears the bench, so will LC here.
Looks like that was Coach Gard, Rick Gard, going down the bench. An impressive performance by Lake Central. As we were saying, Munster, a lot of those same faces played through just about the course of the game. Again, this is still, although we're much more into the season than the boys, there's still plenty of time to learn. And this is, again, a competitive game, a rivalry game. But there's some games in the future that matter maybe a little bit more, and you got to look at the film if you're Munster. A lot to learn from this, and Lake Central building up that confidence. Impressed us a lot tonight, Mike.
There's a nice steal there from Munster. Going up and not connecting, but a foul is called. It was Kaylee O'Connell with the steal. She's going to shoot 2. Still playing hard.
You got to, right? I mean, It's sport. Especially when you get this chance, you got to show coach something. Yes, you're only a sophomore. And as everybody kind of coming in maybe is what they call garbage time. There's definitely a purpose for this. And you're trying to build your you're trying to prove a point, whether for you as a player or maybe you as a unit. Can't just go out there and not really care for this moment.
Yeah, O'Connell could be starting soon in the next few years. She's just a sophomore.
Hey, 4 seniors on the starting lineup. Hey, Munster's looking for who could be the next person up. Same with Lake Central. They're a senior-led group as well.
And this garbage time, it's a perfect opportunity. Try to get it down low. This one's taken away by Munster. Back-to-back turnovers. Grabowski with it. And she's fouled. She'll shoot 2. Ogden with back-to-back fouls after entering the game. Grabowski can't get this one to go.
Got a busy week on the Region Sports Network. We were also at East Chicago tonight. We had the East Chicago Lighthouse boys basketball game. On Friday, we'll be back at the Barado Center as well, covering the boys as she makes 1 of 2 at the line. It'll be Valparaiso at East Chicago. We'll be back here Saturday morning for a wrestling tournament called the Harvest Classic, a fun one, an all-day event. You'll catch it right here on the Region Sports Network if you're a wrestling fan tuning in here.
Another steal, this one from Bella Jarrett. Taking it all the way for 2.
Freshman, there you go.
Mike, let's get to these awards here. We'll start with the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. The Crowell Companies have offices open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday, and Saturday still 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. Who are you going with?
This was a tough one, Mike. I don't really like giving co-awards. This was a game where I was super, super close, but I think I just give the edge to Lake Central's Isla Krieger. The senior forward got off to a hot start there. You got the stats. How many? Couple threes to say the absolute least. She was fantastic on the offensive end. She had kind of a rough start against shooting the ball, but kind of squashed those doubters here today. A fantastic work offensively. Got a couple steals as well defensively. Finished the game with 19 points. Scored, I want to say, the first 10 points for the Indians, and now it's propelled them to this big-time victory against their rival, the Munster Mustangs.
I got her down for 4 threes. Felt like a little bit more than that, actually.
Definitely. But nonetheless, her impact cannot go unnoticed, and superhero-esque, if you will.
59 to 38, the final. We'll continue on with these awards. Let's go with the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. It's brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
Shifting things over to the Munster Mustangs, although a result they may not have wanted, blue collar-esque traits. You see a lot of that in the play of Ibomaka Odaluga, the junior. Yes, only 5'10", and it's kind of that center position for the Munster Mustangs, but she works hard on both ends of the floor. Again, had a couple scores offensively, but what really impressed me is her rebounding, both offensively and defensively. Again, only coming in at 5'10", averaging north of 8 rebounds a game. I wish we had the stats on that, but she just about matched that total, if not beat it, as well as, again, she made a couple good plays offensively, and again, showed some hard work. She was one of those players that played just about the entirety of the game. Obviously, again, not the result they may have wanted, but she's kind of the heart and soul we've seen. Again, the junior playing well beyond her years. Big shout-out to Ibomaka Odaluga of the Munster Mustangs.
Being the tallest player on your team, down low in the paint against a couple taller, it's so tough.
Yeah.
It's so tough, but she did a great job down in the paint and grabbing just all those rebounds.
And just plays beyond her height as well as, again, she's not only limited to rebounds, she's also, again, being in that role, you got to kind of be an enforcer. You have to kind of try and limit those inside shots. And obviously with Lake Central moving the ball around as much as they did, she's kind of the last line of defense in some cases, and she did a great job. Again, a lot of blue-collar traits that I thought this was kind of a shoo-in here after this result.
Time to name the Proud Union Home Play of the Game. It's presented by Region Sports Network. What are you going with?
I guess we could call it the Proud Union Home Plays of the Game, if you will. We'll take it back to the first quarter We'll go double trouble here with Ayla Krieger. Her hot start, I'd say, again, with banged a couple threes. She just got Lake Central to a lead that they never really squandered. I think when you do that, when you throw the first few punches, what she scored, I believe it was 10 in that first frame. So we could just kind of take that whole quarter and give it her hot start. Obviously, again, when you score just about half your points in that game, and I think she was outscoring the Mustangs just on her lonesome, that kind of sets the tone for the entirety of the game. And yes, Lake Central might have maybe looked better in that first quarter in comparison to others. It obviously was the difference here, and they closed the game out very, very well to win this one by 21 points. And again, kind of just that early game stretch from the senior forward, Ayla Krieger, that's kind of all they needed.
Yeah, LC moving to 5-4 now. Munster dropping to 2-4 on the year. A lot of basketball left to play for both these teams, obviously, especially for Munster to continue to grow.
Yeah, I think starting with Munster, again, this is the team we talked about. They lose Grayson Gilliard, a piece that was looking to be one of Munster's best ever, and obviously in kind of the world of high school sports, there's always kind of, hey, there might be a better opportunity elsewhere, and whatever your goal is, if you're trying to play at the next level, who knows? But someone's always knocking. And in this case, yeah, she went to Center Grove, and it's just kind of the way of high school sports. Someone's got to step up. And Munster, I believe they're still in kind of that phase of who is it going to be to step up, and we've kind of saw a lot tonight. We saw some flashes from C.C. Mason. Nina Garner, of course, a co-captain and having a great year. Maybe not her night tonight, but she's a piece going forward as well that come playoff time, she's going to be one to look out for. But some other pieces as well. We talked about Oda Luga, our Blue Collar Award winner. She's going to be one not only to look out for the rest of the year.
Soteropoulos banging some threes down.
Again, a senior-led team that they're just looking to try and play together without, their biggest piece of last year's squad. It's a long season. Again, a great coach in DeAndre Williams that has all he does is just about one at Munster. Yes, this is a different program, but we like them going forward. And for Lake Central, I believe you can't really look at their record. They've had some tough losses, and still a very talented program with, again, some very well-proven seniors, specifically, again, Wimberly and Krieger, just to name a few. Again, having a coach like that in your sideline as well. What else can you say?
59-38 is the final. Executive producer here at Region Sports Network, Chris Ramirez. Our operations manager is Rich Castillo. Coordinating producer, Zach Miller. Mike DeWan, sports director. And on the color tonight, along with me, producer is Clint Klaus. Thomas Marsh on the camera tonight. Want to thank our coaches, DeAndre Williams and Joe Huppenthal, for their help prepping us for this one. The athletic director of Munster, Mike Schultz. Chris Einhardt of Lake Central. Of course, thank you to all the viewers watching on Facebook /Region Sports Nation and YouTube's page. And, of course, all you watching on IHSAA TV. That'll do it from LC. 59-38 is the score. The Indians are victorious tonight. Thanks for watching. Game night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.